As I stood on the corner, I shook my head in disbelief. This couldn't be the right place. After all, I couldn't possibly be welcome here. I had been given an invitation several times by several different people, and had finally decided to see what this place was all about. But this just couldn't be the right place. Quickly, I glanced down at the invitation that I still clutched in my hand. I read the words, "Come as you are, no jacket required," and below that I found the address, and yes, it was the right place. I peered through the window and saw a room full of people whose faces seemed to glow with joy. All were neatly dressed, adorned in fine garments, and appeared strangely clean, as they dined at this exquisite restaurant. Ashamed, I looked down at my own tattered and torn clothing, covered in stains. I was dirty. In fact, I was filthy, and a foul smell seemed to consume me, and I couldn't shake the grime that clung to my body. As I turned around to leave, the words from the invitation leaped out at me again. "Come as you are, no jacket required." I decided to give it a chance. Mustering up every bit of courage I could find, I opened the door to this restaurant and walked up to a man standing behind a podium. "Your name, sir?" he asked me with a smile. I mumbled my name without looking up. I put my hands deep into my pockets, hoping to conceal their stains. He didn't seem to notice the filth that I was covered in, and he continued, "Very good, sir. The table is reserved in your name. Would you like to be seated?" I couldn't believe what I heard. A grin broke out on my face, and I said, "Yes, of course." He then led me to a table, and sure enough, there was a placard with my name written on it in a deep, dark red. As I browsed over a menu, I saw many delightful items listed. There were things like peace, joy, blessings, confidence, assurance, hope, love, faith, and mercy. I realized that this was no ordinary restaurant. I flipped the menu back to the front in order to see the name of the place, and there in bold print, God's Grace. The man returned and said, "I recommend the special of the day. With it, you are entitled to heaping portions of everything on this menu." You've got to be kidding, I thought to myself. "What is the special of the day?" I asked with excitement. "Salvation," was his reply. "I'll take it," I cried out. Then, as quickly as I made that statement, the joy left my body. A sick, painful ache jerked through my stomach, and tears filled my eyes. Between my sobs I said, "Mister, look at me. I am dirty and nasty. I am unclean and unworthy of such things. I would love to have all of this, but I just can't afford it." Undaunted, the man smiled again. "Sir, your check has already been taken care of by that gentleman over there." He pointed to the front of the room and said, "His name is Jesus." Turning, I saw a man whose very presence seemed to light the room. He was almost too much to look at. I found myself walking towards him, and in a shaky voice I whispered, "Sir, I'll wash the dishes, sweep the floors, or take out the trash. I'll do anything I can to repay you for all of this." He opened his arms and said to me with a smile, "Son, all of this is yours if you just come unto me. Ask me to clean you up, and I will. Ask me to take away the stains, and it is done. Ask me to allow you to feast at my table, and you will eat. Remember, the table is reserved in your name. All you have to do is accept this gift that I offer." Astonished, I fell at his feet and cried, "Please, Jesus, please clean up my life. Change me and sit me at your table and give me this new life." Immediately, I heard the words, "It is finished." I looked down, and white robes adorned my squeaky clean body. Something strange and wonderful had happened. I felt like new, like a weight had been lifted, and I found myself seated at his table. The special of the day has been served, the Lord said to me. Salvation is yours. We sat and we talked for a great while, and I so enjoyed the time that I spent with him. He told me of all people, that he would like for me to come back as often as I liked for more helpings from God's grace. He made it very clear that he wanted me to spend as much time with him as possible. As it drew near time for me to go back outside into the world, he whispered to me softly, "And lo, I am with you always." Then he said something to me that I will never forget. "My child, do you see these empty tables throughout this room?" "Yes, Lord, I see them." "What do they mean?" I asked. "These are reserved tables," he said, "but the individuals whose names are on each placard have not accepted their invitations to dine. Would you be so kind as to hand out these invitations to those who have not joined us yet?" "Of course," I said with excitement, as I reached down and picked up the invitations. As I turned to leave, he said to me, "Go ye therefore into all nations, and teach them of me." I walked into God's grace dirty and hungry, stained in sin, my righteousness as filthy rags, and Jesus cleaned me up. I walked out a brand new man, robed in white, his righteousness. And so I'll keep my promise to my Lord. I'll go, I'll spread the word, I'll share the gospel, I'll hand out the invitations, and I'll start with you. Have you been to God's grace? There's a table reserved in your name, and here's your invitation. Come as you are, no jacket,